What if the breakthrough you have been crying out for, the one you have fasted for, prayed for, and waited years for, is not delayed because God forgot you, but because you have been approaching it the wrong way? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, everything is about to shift. Welcome back to this channel, a space created specifically for people who are serious about moving from spiritual stagnation into divine momentum. Today we are going into territory that most teachers avoid. We are going to uncover why your breakthrough keeps slipping through your fingers, and we are going to discover the ancient, God-ordained principle that unlocks the supernatural in your everyday life. I want to draw from the life and teachings of one of the greatest men of prayer who ever lived, Dr. David Yonggi Cho, the pastor who built the largest church in human history through one radical spiritual practice. Let's go. Let me describe someone I think you might recognize. They wake up every morning and they pray, sometimes 30 minutes, sometimes an hour. They read the word, they fast, they serve in the church, they give their tithes faithfully. And on the outside, everything looks like faith. But on the inside, there is a quiet, exhausting desperation. A voice that whispers, "Why isn't it working?" Maybe that person is you. And here is what most people do in that moment. They pray harder, they fast longer, they declare louder, they rebuke the enemy more aggressively. They attend more services, they read more books, and still the breakthrough does not come. Can I tell you something that might be uncomfortable? The problem is not your effort. You are not lacking discipline. You are not lacking desire. You are not lacking sincerity. The hidden flaw, the thing nobody is talking about, is this. Most believers are praying from a place of lack, not from a position of faith. There is a profound difference between begging God and believing God, between praying out of desperation and praying out of declaration, between approaching the throne as an orphan and approaching it as a son or daughter of the Most High. When you pray from a place of lack, you are telling your own spirit, "I don't have it. It hasn't come. I am still waiting." And faith does not wait in emptiness. Faith rests in fullness. That is the flaw. And Dr. David Yonggi Cho discovered exactly how to correct it. Dr. David Yonggi Cho, founder of Yoido Full Gospel Church in Seoul, South Korea, a church that grew to over 800,000 members, did not build that ministry on talent, money, or connections. He built it on what he called the fourth dimension. Here is the concept. Cho taught that the physical world, everything you can see, touch, and measure, exists in 3 dimensions. But the spirit world operates in a 4th dimension, one that is higher, more powerful, and causative to everything in the natural realm. And here is the radical insight. Your mind and your spirit have the capacity to access that 4th dimension. When you do not just ask for breakthrough, you incubate it. You birth it from the invisible into the visible. Cho described it like a hen sitting on an egg. The hen does not beg the egg to hatch. She covers it, she warms it, she creates the conditions for life to emerge. That is what faith-filled prayer, vision, and imagination do to your breakthrough. You stop begging, you start incubating. Here is why this works differently than what you have been doing. Conventional prayer says, "God, I need this. Please send it." Fourth dimensional faith says, "Father, I thank you that it is already done. I see it. I feel it. I receive it now." One prayer creates more hunger. The other prayer creates more harvest. The Apostle Paul understood this perfectly. In Philippians 4:6, he did not say beg for everything. He said, with thanksgiving, make your request known. Thanksgiving is the language of someone who already knows the answer is coming. It is the posture of the 4th dimension. The moment you shift into that posture, something moves in the spirit realm. Your breakthrough does not appear from nowhere. It appears because you finally created the spiritual atmosphere for it to manifest. That is the big idea. Now let us talk about exactly how to apply it in 3 clear steps. There are 3 steps to activating your breakthrough using this principle. These are not suggestions. These are spiritual laws as reliable as gravity, as consistent as the sunrise. Step 1, clarify the vision. Dr. Cho was very specific about this. He said that vague prayers produce vague results. Most people pray in generalities. Lord, bless me. Lord, open doors. Lord, help my finances. But the 4th dimension requires specificity. Think about Habakkuk 2:2, write the vision and make it plain. God did not say think loosely about the vision. He said write it, make it clear, make it specific. Here is your practical assignment for step 1. Find a quiet space. Take a piece of paper or open a journal. Write down your breakthrough in specific present tense language. Not "I want to be debt-free," but "I am debt-free." My finances are restored. I am living in overflow. Not I want my marriage healed, but my marriage is whole. My spouse and I are walking in unity, love, and divine purpose. Songs, write it as if it has already happened. Because in the fourth dimension, in the spirit realm, it already has. This is not positive thinking. This is not the law of attraction. This is covenant language. The language of a believer who knows that God keeps every promise he has ever made. Once you have written it, read it out loud every morning before you pray. You are programming your spirit. You are building an atmosphere of expectation. Step 2, pray with gratitude. This is where most believers short-circuit their own breakthrough. They thank God after the answer comes, but biblical faith thanks God before the evidence appears. Jesus modeled this at the tomb of Lazarus, before Lazarus walked out. Before there was a single sign of natural life, Jesus looked up to heaven and said, Father, I thank you that you have heard me. He did not say, Father, please raise him. He said, Father, I thank you. Gratitude is not a response to breakthrough. Gratitude is a trigger for breakthrough. Here is what this looks like practically. In your prayer time, before you make a single request, spend 5 full minutes in pure thanksgiving. Thank God for who He is. Thank Him for what He has already done. Thank Him specifically for the breakthrough you wrote in step 1, as though you have already received it. Father, I thank you that my healing is manifesting right now. I thank you that the door has already opened. I thank you that provision is already flowing into my life. You will feel something shift when you do this. A weight will lift because gratitude breaks the spirit of heaviness. And where heaviness breaks, breakthrough enters. Step 3, hold the image. This is Cho's most powerful teaching. And it is the step that most people skip entirely. After you have written the vision and prayed with gratitude, you must hold the image every day, multiple times a day. Close your eyes and see your breakthrough happening. Do not just hope for it abstractly. Picture it vividly. Feel the emotion of it. Engage all your spiritual senses. See the doctor delivering the good report. See the relationship restored. See the business flourishing. See yourself standing fully inside the promise. Cho would spend hours in this practice. He called it incubating the word. He was not daydreaming. He was exercising fourth-dimensional authority over his circumstances. Romans 4:17 a.m. says God calls those things which do not exist as though they did. You are made in His image. That means you carry that same creative capacity. When you hold the image consistently, faithfully, without wavering, you are doing exactly what Hebrews 11:1 describes. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. You are making the invisible real. And then, at the appointed time, what you have been incubating in the spirit will break through into the natural. That is your breakthrough. Now let me give you a few ways to accelerate this entire process. First, fast intentionally. Not to twist God's arm, but to quiet the noise of the natural realm so your spirit becomes more sensitive. Even a 1-meal fast combined with extended prayer dramatically heightens your spiritual perception and sharpens your vision. Second, surround yourself with testimonies. Listen to stories of people who received exactly what you are believing for. Faith is contagious. When you hear what God did for someone else, your spirit rises and says, if He did it for them, He will do it for me. Third, speak your vision aloud to a trusted prayer partner. There is a multiplication that happens in spiritual agreement. Matthew 6:19 p.m. If 2 of you agree on earth concerning anything they ask, it will be done by my Father in heaven. Agreement is a spiritual accelerant. It speeds up what God is already doing. And finally, journal every small sign, every door that cracks open, every moment of peace that passes understanding. What you intentionally track, you attract more of. Now I want to be completely real with you because you deserve honesty, not just highlights. There will be days when you do everything right and nothing seems to move. You will pray with gratitude and still feel the weight. You will hold the vision and doubt will whisper, this is not working. You are wasting your time. That is not failure. That is the test. Every major biblical figure walked through the valley between the promise and the fulfillment. Joseph sat in prison. Abraham waited 25 years. David hid in caves after already being anointed as king. The delay is not denial. The delay is development. Your character is being formed in the waiting. Your faith is being deepened. And the breakthrough, when it comes, will land on someone who is fully prepared to steward it. Do not quit on Thursday when your breakthrough is scheduled for Friday. Keep incubating, keep declaring, keep holding the image. It is closer than you think. Here is what I need you to carry with you today. Your breakthrough is not missing. It is not lost. It is not forgotten by God. It is incubating. And you have the spiritual authority right now, today, to create the atmosphere for it to emerge. Write the vision. Pray with gratitude. Hold the image. Do not let go. If this message landed in your spirit today, hit that like button right now. It lets me know this content is reaching people who need it, and it helps this teaching find someone else who has been waiting for this exact word tonight. Subscribe to this channel, because next week we are going even deeper into the prayer of specific faith and why God responds to precision. And drop a comment below. Tell me, what breakthrough are you incubating right now? I am standing in agreement with you. Now go receive what is already yours.